Some people spend years thinking about starting a YouTube channel. They imagine the videos, they imagine the audience, they imagine the version of themselves they could become. And yet they never press upload, not even once. If you've ever wondered why, the answer isn't laziness. It isn't lack of ideas. And it isn't because life gets busy, even though that's the excuse people love to use. The truth is deeper, more psychological, more uncomfortable, and in many ways more relatable than most people would ever admit. Because when someone delays starting their YouTube channel, they aren't avoiding the work. They're avoiding the identity shift that comes with putting themselves in front of the world. Uploading a video isn't just uploading a video, it's exposing a piece of your mind. It's opening a door for judgment, misunderstanding, criticism, and even success. And for many people, success is far more terrifying than failure. You see, YouTube forces you to confront parts of yourself you've spent years hiding.
Your voice, your opinions, your insecurities, your desire to be seen. Most people don't fear the camera. They fear what the camera reflects back at them. The reality that they want something bigger from life, and the terrifying possibility that they might actually get it. So instead of starting, they study, they prepare, they take notes, they watch tutorials.
They tell themselves, soon, I just need a little more time. But time keeps passing and the channel stays empty. Because deep down, they are fighting a quiet psychological battle. The battle between who they are
And who they know they could become. And that battle is exhausting. It's invisible. And it stops more potential creators than any algorithm ever could. But here's the twist no one talks about. The moment you finally start, something inside you shifts. Your brain, your confidence, your identity, they all begin to reorganize themselves around action instead of fear. And that is why this video matters. Because if you've ever felt this hesitation, if you've ever felt this invisible wall holding you back, you are not alone. And psychology explains exactly why. In the next sections, we'll go deeper. We'll uncover the hidden fears, the mental patterns, the emotional traps, and the quiet truths behind why people wait and wait and wait. One of the strongest forces that stops people from starting their YouTube channel is something most don't even realize they have. The fear of being seen trying. People don't fear failure. They fear failing publicly. They fear the moment someone they know sees their first video and thinks, who did they think they are? Why are they trying to be a YouTuber? This is cringe. And here's the painful truth. Most people would rather stay invisible than risk being judged while becoming visible. This fear is so powerful that it rewires behavior. It makes people shrink themselves. It makes them hide their ambition. It makes them pretend they don't care even when they deeply do. Because dreaming in private is safe. But doing something in front of others takes courage that many people have never practiced. The second hidden force is perfectionism. The illusion that your first video must look like your 10th. People don't start because, in their mind, they're already comparing themselves to creators who have been posting for years. They forget that every big channel started as a small one. Every polished creator once uploaded something awkward, unbalanced, uncomfortable. But perfectionism isn't about quality, it's about control. People want to control how others see them. They want their first impression to be flawless, and the fear that it won't be freezes them. Then there's the quiet psychological trap called anticipatory embarrassment. It's when your brain imagines a future scenario that hasn't happened. A negative reaction, a harsh comment, a moment of humiliation, and treats it as if it's real. Your heart rate rises, your mind closes, your motivation collapses. So instead of creating, you avoid. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow is just today, waiting to happen again. And behind all of this is a deeper truth people rarely admit. Starting a YouTube channel forces you to confront your capacity. It makes you aware of the gap between who you are and who you could be. And not everyone is ready to see that gap. Because once you start, you can't hide anymore. You can't pretend you're not trying. You can't escape the responsibility of your own potential. And that is the psychological weight many people carry, the reason they stay stuck, even when they desperately want to move. In the next section, we'll uncover the emotional patterns that tighten this grip, the overthinking, the internal narratives, and the silent expectations that convince people to wait instead of begin. Another powerful reason people never start their YouTube channel is something far more emotional than they realize: the stories they secretly tell themselves. Every person who hesitates has an inner narrative. Sometimes that story sounds like doubt. Sometimes it sounds like logic. But most of the time, it's just fear wearing a smart disguise. One of the most common internal stories is, "I'm not ready yet." The next emotional pattern is overthinking. Overthinking is not thinking too much, it's thinking in circles. It convinces you that more analysis equals more progress, when in reality, overthinking is the mind's most elegant form of avoidance. You ask yourself questions like, what niche should I choose? What if no one watches? What if everyone watches? What if the video isn't good enough? What if I run out of ideas? But these questions don't lead to answers. They lead to paralysis. Because the goal of overthinking isn't clarity, it's protection. Your brain is protecting you from potential discomfort by keeping you trapped in theoretical scenarios. Then comes comparison. People look at big creators and think, they're so far ahead, how could I ever catch up? But comparison is a psychological trap. You compare your day 1 to someone else's year 5. You compare your insecurities to their confidence. You compare your unfinished ideas to their polished uploads. And every comparison steals a little more courage. But maybe the most painful pattern of all is this: the fear of starting small. People don't want their first video to get 12 views. They don't want to feel invisible. They don't want to feel like their effort didn't matter. But here's the truth they often forget. Everyone starts at 12 views. Everyone starts unpolished. Everyone starts invisible. Visibility is earned, not given. And the moment people accept that humble beginning, their entire journey opens up. Because starting small is not a failure, it's a sign that you finally stopped hiding from your potential. In the final section, we'll go even deeper into the emotional turning point, the shift in identity, and the quiet moment when someone finally says, "I'm done waiting, I'm starting." There comes a moment, quiet, subtle, almost invisible, when something inside a person finally breaks. Not in a destructive way, in a liberating way. It's the moment when staying the same starts to feel more painful than the risk of changing. For people who have been dreaming of starting a YouTube channel, this moment arrives slowly. Not with fireworks, not with a sudden burst of motivation, but with a realization. If I don't start now, I may never start at all. And that truth hits harder than any fear ever could. Because deep down, people know they aren't avoiding YouTube. They're avoiding the version of themselves they've been postponing. The confident one, the expressive one, the one who creates instead of consumes, the one who chooses courage over comfort, the one who finally takes responsibility for their own potential. But here's the part psychology reveals, the part that surprises almost everyone. Your identity doesn't grow before you take action. It grows because you take action. You don't become confident before you post your first video. You post it, your heart races, your hands shake, you feel exposed, and then confidence starts forming around that courage. Courage first, identity second. This is the moment people misunderstand. They wait to feel ready, not realizing that readiness is something you build, one upload at a time. And the emotional shift that finally frees someone is simple. They stop asking, what if it fails, and begin asking, what if this is the beginning of my life changing? Because the truth is, your first video won't be your best. Your microphone won't be perfect. Your first edit won't win awards. Your first audience may be tiny, but it won't stay that way. Every creator you admire survived this awkward beginning. Every creator you watch today once uploaded something fragile and imperfect and did it anyway. And that anyway is what built their career.
Future. So if you're someone who has been holding back, if you felt the fear, the doubt, the comparison, the pressure, here's the quiet truth you've been avoiding. Your life doesn't change when you think about doing something. Your life changes the moment you finally begin. And maybe today is that moment for you. Because there is a version of you, stronger, braver, more alive, waiting on the other side of one simple choice. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when you're ready, now.